So I did a decent bit better than I did yesterday. I ended up reading just over 350 pages as opposed to 150. Although again, as I was yesterday, I was a bit distracted just with my family and in general. And I was also on Discord for a decent bit, but again, I made a decent improvement of 200 pages, and I'm also planning for tomorrow. My work is just starting to get busy again, and hopefully soon there'll be overtime, so I'm going to have a lot of time where I'm going to have very little to no free time. So I was thinking about, naturally, as I've talked about in the channel before, taking around my little notes with vocabulary, whether it be for Latin or French or Greek. I was just deciding whether or not I should do it for Greek or French, and I've decided to do it for French because, given all the time that I've put into Latin and the fact that I basically failed at my goals, I'm really worried and anxious that I could just end up doing the same thing for Greek, although it does seem easier. I could put in so many hours to it over a year to it, and I won't be able to read. Whether it's with French, although I'm more passionate about Greek, I'm more passionate about Latin. I'm 100% certain that if I was to put in, say, the same hours that I put in Latin, if I was to have the same vocabulary in French as I had in Latin, I'll be able to use it. Of course, I've talked in previous videos about my time, how learning languages, learning French, is kind of a waste of it. But again, that's the great thing with working so much. I can have my vocabulary notes, I can check it constantly throughout the day, I can learn so many words, and it's not chewing into my free time at all. So it's keeping my mind active, and even if it's not the most useful or productive skill, I'm also learning something. With that being said, unfortunately, and I really didn't think this was going to happen, but the date with Addie didn't happen today either. I never asked her. I didn't really see much point in it. I thought if she wasn't going to be busy, if she wanted to do it, she would have asked me. But again, unfortunately, she hasn't. So I doubt that's going to happen. And again, I was really looking forward to that Saturday. It would have been the first movie we've watched in a long while, and the first proper voice chat we would have had. I was really, really, really looking forward to that on Saturday. I thought, even despite the fact that we broke up, that would have been something that was nonetheless quite meaningful. It could, of course, still happen next week, but I doubt it. Again, we both agreed that we would do it this Saturday, and it's not happened, so I think it's rather pointless to get my hopes up for next Saturday when it hasn't even been arranged. With that being said, I did draw a picture for her on Saturday, just yesterday. And again, getting back to the theme of time and how I feel like it's going a lot slower. Yesterday doesn't seem like yesterday, it seems like 2 or 3 days ago at least. But regardless, I thought I could show that picture instead of the other ones I made. This first one with the text, I drew, or rather traced, all of these are traced just a week before we broke up, so we were still dating at that point. This next one was done just a few hours before we broke up, so it was done the actual day. And this one I made of just her, which I actually planned the week previous. I did on Saturday in anticipation of the date. Obviously, her with the phone is supposed to represent us talking over the voice chat and her being joyous. Again, I found this picture and planned to trace it just before we broke up, and even though we did